Hey there! Want to sound more natural when you're speaking English? Well, the secret might just be mastering one super useful tense, the present continuous. In the next few minutes, we're going to break it all down so you can use it like a pro. Let's dive right in. So let me ask you a quick question. What are you doing right now? Seriously, think about it. You're probably thinking something like, I am watching an explainer, or I am learning English. See that? Boom! You're already using the exact tense we're about to master together. Okay, so here's our roadmap. First, we'll cover what this tense actually is. Then, we'll get into when you should use it, how to build sentences with it, get that tricky ing spelling right, and finally, we'll fix some super common mistakes. Let's jump into section 1. All right, first things first. To really get this, we have to start with the foundation. What exactly is the present continuous tense? Once you get this part, I promise everything else is going to click right into place. At its core, this tense is all about action that's in progress. Think of it like a movie that's still playing, not one that's already finished. It's for stuff happening right this second, for temporary situations, and even for future plans. But if there's one word to remember through all of this, it's temporary. And you know what? It all boils down to one simple magic formula. If you remember just one thing from this section, make it this. It's always a subject, plus a form of the verb to be, that's your am, is, or are, and then your main action verb with an ing tacked on the end. That's it. That's the whole secret recipe.
Okay, so we've got the formula. But, knowing the recipe isn't enough. You gotta know when to use it. So when should you actually pull this tense out of your toolbox? Let's put it into practice.
Think of it like this. There are three main situations where this tense is your absolute best friend. For things happening this very second, for stuff happening around now, and for definite, solid plans you have for the future. Let's break each of those down. First up, the most obvious one, for things that are happening right now, like this instant. For example, I am talking to you. Or if you glance out your window, maybe the kids are playing outside. See your friend on their phone? She is writing a message. If you can literally see it happening, this is the tense you want. Okay, next up is the around now category. This one's a little different. It's for temporary projects or situations that are happening in your life, even if they aren't happening at this exact second. For example, you could say, I am taking English classes, even if you're not in a class right now. It's an ongoing, temporary thing in your life. And finally, number 3, which might surprise you a little bit, we use it for definite future plans. We're talking about things that are already arranged, things that are in your calendar. So instead of saying you hope to see your teacher, if it's already planned, you say, I am meeting my teacher tomorrow. It sounds so much more confident and clear. All right, you've got the what and the when. Now for the how. Let's put on our architect hats, because now we're going to look at the blueprints for building all kinds of sentences, positive ones, negative ones, and of course, questions. This table really lays it all out beautifully. A positive sentence is just our magic formula in action. You are watching a video. Now, what if you want to make it negative? It's so easy. You just slide the word not right in after the am, is, or are. So, she is not coming today. And to ask a question, you just do a little switcheroo with the first 2 words. Are you listening? See, the pattern is super reliable. And hey, here's a quick pro tip for you. If you want to ask for more specific info, all you have to do is pop a question word, like what, where, or why, at the very beginning of the question. For example, what are you doing? It's that simple to get more details. So everything we've talked about so far is perfect for speaking. But to really master this tense, especially in writing, we've got to nail the spelling of that ing at the end of the verb. Don't worry, there are just a few simple rules to remember. Okay, there are basically 4 little rules here. For most verbs, just add ing. Easy peasy. If a verb ends in a silent E, like in write, you drop that E before adding ing. Then there's the CVC pattern. That's consonant, vowel, consonant for short verbs like run. In that case, you double the final consonant. And for those few tricky verbs that end in IE, like lie, you actually change the IE to a Y before you add the ing. And now we're on to the final section. This is the part that's going to help you polish your skills and dodge those small but super common mistakes. This is how you really start to sound like a pro. All right, pop quiz time. Take a look at this sentence on the screen. She going to school. Something really important is missing. Can you see what it is? Yep, you got it. It's the verb
is. Honestly, forgetting am, is, or are is by far the biggest mistake people make. Our magic formula needs all of its ingredients, right? So it has to be, she is going to school.
Here's another classic mistake. Sometimes people say, I eat now. And, it kind of makes sense, but when an action is happening right this moment, you really need that continuous form. The correct way to say it is always, I am eating now. And one last one, a little spelling mistake that we just talked about. Someone might write, he is running fast. But remember, that rule for run, since it has that consonant-vowel-consonant pattern, we've got to double the N. So it's running with 2 N's. These little details really do make a huge difference. So let's do a super quick recap. Here's your brand new toolkit. You've got the formula, subject plus am is are plus verb ing. And you use it for actions happening now, actions happening around now, and for your definite future plans. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. And I want to leave you with this one sentence because it's just a perfect example of what we've been talking about. I am trying to improve my English. It describes a temporary, ongoing action, which is exactly what you are doing this very moment. It's a fantastic mindset to have. And there you have it, the present continuous, totally demystified. You officially have a powerful new tool to help you sound more fluent and more natural in conversations. So using your new skill, I have one last question for you. What are you learning next? Keep that incredible momentum going.